chasing vibrations. There weren't really, there weren't a lot of gimbals available to kind of eliminate that. And the cameras at the time struggled with some of the vibrations that were produced by, RC helis. Anyways, obviously that's gone the drone route. This is still on here. I really, I've never really explored, what its capabilities are with just normal flight. It is capable of that, but, just to do some sport flying, I don't know. I'd have to kind of go back in and check that out. Anyways, but other than that, it's pretty stock, but still a really awesome heli. And yeah, that was about nearly 10 years ago now. And I really would like to, maybe find out what this bird can really do at some point as I learn to fly better. But and what I'll do is I'll also definitely bring this out to the field and show you guys a couple flights with it. But that is my Align. I don't even know if it's a T-Rex. It's an Align 700E F3C. So you can see that here, F3C right there, and yeah, still an awesome bird. So the next heli I have up to show you, and which was the first heli I bought when I got back into the hobby at the beginning of this season, I guess probably about nearly 3 months ago now, was this Align T-Rex 500. And I didn't mention earlier that with the F3C 700 F3C back there, that was actually the last heli that I bought, that I built from scratch, I guess, from the kit. I bought this T-Rex 500. This isn't, I mentioned this earlier, this isn't the Dominator. This is just a canopy that I bought for it, but this is the T-Rex 500 XT with the torque tube. And when I bought this, it was brand new, but it was already put together. It just saved me the time. And this is actually my first heli ever that was a flybarless. So I left the 700 back there just for kind of size comparison, so you could see. But anyways, this 500, I just felt it was a really, really good heli to get started with, where I felt that, if I crashed it, it wasn't going to break the bank, but it was big enough that it would be stable, to learn on. Like I said, I do know what it's like to have flown a 450, and I thought that maybe that might have been a little bit too twitchy for my liking anyways. It was a flybarred model. And just quickly to show you what is set up on here for electronics. Again, being in the line, a lot of these are stock parts, OEM parts that came with it, like the motor and so on and so forth. But the flybarless controller is an Icon 2 Bluetooth. And when I bought it, it actually had these upgraded blades, which are these VTX 477 millimeter blades. And I have this Futaba 7108 receiver, which is capable of telemetry. And yeah, otherwise, like I said, the rest is just the line servos and so on and so forth. I will walk through for those that are interested, I'll gladly walk through the settings that I have and what I did to set up this Icon 2. And actually, I'm also going to be doing a video on my newest heli in the fleet, but I'll leave that as a bit of a teaser, which is also going to be set up on an Icon 2, a non-Bluetooth Icon 2, but an Icon 2, which is basically the same. You just can't do adjustments with the Bluetooth. When I got it, it was just the Bluetooth models of the Icon 2 are just hard to come by. But anyways, I really like this heli, and this is, the one that I'm hoping to continue to learn how to fly, not just fly, not just sport flying, but 3D, and you know, and really build up my skills in the RC heli flying department. All right, the next heli I picked up in my fleet is this SAB Goblin Raw 700. And you know, when I got back in the helicopters this time around, I joined a heli club. One, because the laws up here in Canada for flying helis had changed significantly from when I was in the hobby last, and I, you know, for safety reasons and insurance reasons, I wanted to be able to fly confidently at a club. So and at the club there were several guys there that had this exact heli, and you know, I can't honestly say whether or not I think SAB was around when I was part of the hobby last time, but really I really wasn't into any other models other than the Align models, because that's what my local hobby shop carried. But when I saw the Raw, you know, I really fell in love with it, and I really wanted a flybarless 700 heli again, even though I as I mentioned earlier, I've always loved my Flybard 700, the F3C, but this Raw was awesome. And fortunately, one of the guys at the club was selling one that he hadn't really used very much, so that's why I picked this up. So again, I didn't really build this from scratch, but I did set it up. Now, when I bought it, it didn't really come with any of the electronics. He did sell me this motor, so it's a Scorpion motor, 4525 450 kV. So this is a 6S setup. I have in here a Hobby Wing, 130, it's a Hobby Wing Platinum 130 amp high voltage ESC, and I have Futaba for cyclic. I have Futaba HC500 cyclic servos. Where is it? Or SC, I can't remember, but they're not the HC700 high-end servos that Futaba has. But and I do have the Futaba BLS 276 tail servo, and I'm running the flybarless. I'm running is the CGY 760R. Which I really wanted to run on this because of how it you know, how it paired with the Futaba 16IZ transmitter that I have. And I since I changed the blades. When I bought these, they did have the stock SAB blades, but when I was setting this up initially, I made a mistake, and on the spool up, the settings in the flybarless were backwards. It was just a rookie error, and unfortunately the heli tipped over, and you know, it was a minor crash, but the blades got wrecked. So I ended up getting these Azure 700 blades, and yeah, this is you've seen, you know, if you've watched some of my videos of this flies great. I really am looking forward to hopefully being able to explore what this heli can really do also. But that's going to take some time for me to get that comfort level, you know, with these 700 helis. Last but not least, the heli, if you watch my videos, I probably fly the most at this time, is this OMP Hobby M2 V2. Again, you can see size-wise how it compares to the 700, but I really enjoy this heli. So as I told you, when I got back into the hobby, I got the 500 because I felt that it was a much more stable bird to fly on, because I felt the 450 I had was a little twitchy. But I gotta tell you, you know, had I known at that time when I came back in just how far the technology had come with these fiberless helis, and just how stable even tiny helis like this, which is a 200 size heli, fly. I probably would have started with this instead of the 500, but you know, it's such a great bird to fly. You know, simply, I mean, for me, because there's really no fear when it comes to crashing it. I know I've talked about, I do have nerves. I just don't like crashing in general, but the cost of repairs on this is, you know, almost nothing. So, and it does fly really, really awesome. It's very stable and gives you the confidence to know that it's going to do what you want it to do, as long as you do it properly. So anyways, I have nothing but good things obviously to say about this heli. I do want to obviously, you know, migrate eventually away from the micro helis like this, but I think for the time being, it's probably going to continue to be the heli that I fly the most. But yeah, right now it is an awesome bird and the one I fly the most. Sorry, I just wanted to add a couple of things on, you know, things that impressed me about this heli. So, you know, back, I don't want to sound like I'm throwing shade, but you know, micro helis to me were always kind of blade helis, and you know, I know that they're still popular, but you know, their helis always just felt very cheap to me, plastic parts and so on. And even the micro helis that Align would put out, they just felt you know, very cheap and very light and flimsy. The thing about this OMP hobby was that these are all metal parts, all aluminum, I think, for the most part, which makes it feel very stable, very sturdy, and I really am impressed with this direct drive motor. Again, this limits the amount of cost or parts to replace if you do crash, because and I have crashed this already. Just this main shaft goes directly into this motor. So this direct drive motor, I think is great. And what they, you know, now SAB has put it in their raw 420. I just think it's a great concept. A great technology. And but you know, this aluminum tail, carbon fiber frame, you know, these skids, these nylon skids are actually flexible, so if you come down hard, you're not likely to break them unless you're actually crashing. It's just, it really is a very well made heli. This combination ESC and fiberless control makes it very simple to set up. Yeah, so I just wanted to add that you know, there's a whole ton of reasons why this really is a great option, a great heli for anybody looking to get into collective pitch helis and start learning how to fly, and eventually, and even you know, graduate their skills to 3D flying.